محمد الفقان بدأت طريقتنا الصحبة والخير في الجميع. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. For this Shaban Muazzam Mukarram, it is one, inshallah, after 3 or 4 days we celebrate 15 of Shaban, night of 15 Shaban, which it is a very blessed night. Especially it is like for each one, Allah Azza wa Jalla saying Quran, فيها يفرق كل أمر حكيم. This night, everything it will be for next year, what will happen, who will born, he will die, he will become sick, ill, or rich, married, not married. All this in this night, will be written. For this, it is very important. One of important night of Islamic religion, Islamic calendar. It is very important. This we are giving Maulana, all the Mashayikh, they was giving important attention for this night, which it is beginning from Maghrib, from we pray after Maghrib 3 times Surah Yasin for rizq, for long life with Islam, with health, all this. Each one you make intention, and after we make dua also. After this night time can be make Salat al-Tasabih after Isha, and after until Fajr, until Fajr praying, you can make 100 rakah nafil, 100 rakah. Normally must read 1000 Ikhlas Kul Allah Ahad. But Maulana Shaykh, he was make it easy for us, for which first rakah 2 Ikhlas, second rakah 1 Ikhlas. For maybe some people can finish in 1 hour, some people in 1.5 hours, some people 2 hours. Can slowly. This not like summer night, short. It is long night here. You can pray and stop, pray and stop. It will be good for you, reward of this year, and ask for Allah to give you what you want. Most important thing to be in Islam, to your family, your everyone to be in Islam in the way of Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, to be away from bad habit, bad friend, bad people, to be away from them. This is also very important. It is more important than money, more important than gold, more important than anything, to be safe and clean, because this dirtiness now everywhere where you go you find this, so it is affect you in everything, your health, your family, your friend, everything will be affected. For this, it is very important to ask from Allah Azza wa Jalla protection from Shaitan and his army. Now they have a huge army now. He has billions now. Shaitan army billions now. not 1 million, 2 million, with billions. Very few. If we have 1 million, it is 1 billion. It is good, but it is not like this. Everybody following Shaitan and what he is saying, even saying we are not following, but reality quickly can be appear they are after Shaitan and his way. For this most important thing for this dua in this night, to give us strong iman, strong belief for us, for family, for children, for brothers, for sisters, for everyone. It is real best present you give for them, because Prophet ﷺ saying a most acceptable dua praying which you do without your friend know or your brother know, to pray for them, to ask Allah for them the good, the best, to be together in Jannah. This is a big reward from Allah. Prophet ﷺ love this also. Without knowing your friend, he is in trouble or in any health issue and problem with government, with people, with anything, ask Allah Azza wa Jalla to make it solution, to make it finish this problem. Problem bring a problem, good they bring good, inshallah. This is very important for this night, and also to fast in 15 of Shaban, also especially every month. Prophet ﷺ saying he was fasting 3 days, which it is moon, full moon. It is, they call it light nights, because it is from moon lighting everywhere. 3 days every month. Prophet ﷺ, middle of month, Arabic month, he was fasting. Well, not fasting, of course, all day, every time, but this, when some occasion like this, we must fast, and Allah reward many hadiths for this night and for this day, how fast, how Allah give barakah, give reward without count. He give with his generous. We are, alhamdulillah, the people who following tariqah, they are blessed, lucky one, because everything, every good thing, they are catching and putting in their treasury. Who not following, okay, there is many kind of who not following tariqah. There is normal Muslim, maybe most of them, they don't pray, they don't fast, but still they are Muslim. And there is Muslim also, they are praying, fasting, but they don't know about this nights or blessed day, blessed nights. Just as it is like normal day, they are praying 5 times. When Ramadan coming, fasting Ramadan. After this, nothing. They don't have anything. This also no much problem, but was a problem with people preventing people to do good thing. If you see you praying, why you praying like this? Why too much you praying? This is not acceptable. It is sometimes going most is idiot and ignorance one from this. They say this is shirk, this is bid'ah, this is like that, like this. They giving prevent people. There are people, many people, unlucky people. They following them, and they are not making sunnah, not making nafil, not making fasting after Ramadan or before Ramadan. No, for them, no holy anything, no night, no day, no man, no woman, no Sahaba, no Tabi'in, no, even there, not many of them also for Prophet ﷺ, they are saying something we cannot say here. It is not good to repeat what they are saying. This is unlucky people. But Alhamdulillah, we are lucky from Prophet ﷺ until now. We are following and doing as much we can do and ask for Allah Azza wa Jalla. We can do this, but many things Prophet ﷺ done, we cannot do all what Prophet ﷺ, but our intention to follow what he done. With this, Allah say, إنما الأعمال بالنيات, and intention very important. Allah Azza wa Jalla saying. So with our intention, Alhamdulillah, inshallah, we all get this reward as following whole Sunnah of Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Allah give other people also to this luck, to be lucky to follow this. We are our doors every time saying our doors open for everybody. Come to Wallahi Adu Ola Dar Salam. Allah calling people for Jannah, for land of peace. Allah Azza wa Jalla saying with happiness for every good thing. Allah calling. So we are Prophet ﷺ calling. We are following this. We are also calling people who are away from this way. Come to Allah. Come to Prophet ﷺ. Come to paradise. You will be in paradise in Jannah and in dunya, inshallah. This is paradise in your heart. It is if you are even like Sayyidina Ibrahim, he was in middle of fire, and it was paradise for him. This is for all of us same. So we are calling people, don't be away from this door open. Don't be idiot not coming inside. There is one when Allah Azza wa Jalla giving thing, don't be late. Don't be away from this. When tap it open, full your pot from water. Don't wait, I will full later, because it's not every time it can be running. When running, quickly go, ask, take. When you find the tap open everywhere, you don't be lazy. Don't be say later I can and take. You can't know if later you will be or not be, and if this tap will be or not be. So everything in dunya even for this also must be saying, because people sometimes asking for rizq. This I saw in writing in one our brother, he goldsmith selling, buying gold, and putting small notice there. They say no credit. No, I cannot give loan and no credit. Second one, he said, when it is tap open, you fill your pot. Don't let it. Don't close it. Leave it open. Don't say I will close later. I will open. Continue. Well, it is many people. Because every day we hear since years. They said my work it was good. After I fed up and I like to rest, I close. After try to open, never. So when it is open, continue everything for rizq, for ilm, for life. Everything must be, when it is good, don't say maybe this, maybe that, I must rest, I must be not too much working. No, when Allah open for you, don't close the door of His provision. You can be later regret. Continue everything in continuous. It is a good thing. It is continuous. You must don't stop, don't wait. Mawlana Shaykh also saying, our way it is to hard working. Who tired, who stop is not from us, he said, Mawlana Shaykh. Don't tire, don't be stop, don't be fed up. Allah give us himma, quwwa, inshallah, to be like him, inshallah. And mashallah, until last day he was with himma, not stopping. Even now, mashallah, from sending his barakat for people, sending people to tariqah also. In dream or in inspiration, he still giving us, alhamdulillah. All this with his barakah. Allah bless you, bless this month, inshallah. Allah make us to continue without fed up, inshallah. Wa min Allah tawfiq, al-Fatiha.